NFL family, NFL nation, it's Matt Kenny, of course, and right now they call me Coach K for a reason. Maybe Breakdown K. Right now I'm breaking down the playoffs to you guys. NFL 2019, technically playoffs, but for the 2018 season, here's the bracket. But first of all, we have a disclaimer because there is still Week 17 to come. And right now we have Pittsburgh or Baltimore, Tennessee or Indianapolis, and Philadelphia, Minnesota. One of those three triplets, or we'll say one of those, one from each pair. Those three are making the playoffs. Right here, Philly, Minnesota, it's that simple. Minnesota, you win, you're in. You're at home. Indianapolis, go Skull. I think they're going to rise to the occasion and get that win at home. I mean, it's that simple. Like, you're at home. I don't care what happens in Philadelphia. I know they're beating, Jay Gruden and, in Washington. No-brainer. But here, I really see them winning at home. I think Dalvin Cook's healthy as hell. I like that mentality for Skull. Rise up, Skull Nation. Minnesota, you're in. Right here at Tennessee, Indianapolis, Luck is on fire. Had one of the best seasons as a rebounder of his career. I just see Indy as a better overall team than Tennessee. However, let's hope that home team for Tennessee does not get to them, okay? But overall, Indy's winning that game. Pittsburgh or Baltimore. I got Pittsburgh, man. Cleveland is playing good football under Greg Williams. It's a whole new team. And in my opinion, I see Lamar Jackson choking. I see him playing a whole different defense. I think Greg Williams is looking and game planning and going all out to spoil it for the Ravens. Twice here in a row, second year in a row, they lost versus Cincy. They're not going to lose versus Cleveland. They will lose their season at home back-to-back years, Week 17. Thanks to the Ravens or the Bengals last year, and now Browns. Pitt, you're in. Pitt, you're in. Right here. LA at Pitt. I got Pitt. Let me tell you something. LA won at Pitt in week, whatever it was, week 13, 14. Okay, we'll say week 13, whatever it was. Okay, I really don't care. Okay, literally they won. Block kick. There were some things that happened in that game that were kind of weird, but I think still, if Pitt gets their running back, James Conner, I really think they have the tools over LA. It's a 50-50 coin flip. It really is. 5-4. That's what the odds say anyway, record-wise. And personally, I just feel like Pittsburgh has the edge at home. They're going to adjust at Heinz Field. Okay, get those terrible towels out there, okay? Right here, Indy at Houston. I see Houston adjusting from the regular season loss at home versus Indianapolis. I get they have luck, but I think Houston, the defense, Watt, Clowney, Cunningham, McKinney, even throw into the Honey Badger. I think they have the goods to win at home versus Indy. Houston at New England, a Week 1 recap matchup. I see New England winning. It's that simple, okay? Literally, Houston, they lost, I think they lost a divisional game at Brock Osweiler 3 years ago. Okay, even 2 years ago. I don't give a crap. They had Boye in the crew, okay? Literally, Houston, New England has your number. It's at New England. I don't think you have enough goods yet, even though that New England lost Gordon. They lost Amendola. They lost some good key defensive players. I just see Tom Brady clutching it out like Week 1, okay? Right here, Pitt at KC. Not even a question. Pitt, I'm sorry. Go home. You're not winning versus the road, okay? You are a home team, Pittsburgh, okay? KC, Arrowhead Stadium, the toughest stadium to win, period. Throw in everyone the hottest quarterbacks, Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Kelce, game over. I get there's no defense and no Hunt, but I really like their odds to beat Pittsburgh at home. KC at New England, man. New England has their numbers. They really do. But since the tides have flipped and now it's at KC, I see them getting it done at Arrowhead Stadium. Even in previous years in the AFC Championship or Divisional, KC has always been within like 10 points of New England, and it's been tight. But now throw it at Arrowhead Stadium. Mahomes over Smith, definitely. Hill and Kelce have one of the best breakout seasons ever. Chris Jones, I like the Chiefs to win this game. New England has less weapons now, so I like KC. KC's in there. Right here, really quick. Here we go. That's my bracket. So, Seattle's at Dallas. Pete Carroll, extension. I like it, man. You're a great guy. But you know what, man? Marshawn Lynch bailed you out, we'll say, 5 years ago? The big run, Marshawn Lynch, you passed the ball at the 2-yard line. Pete Carroll, man, I saw that game this year versus Carolina, Buffalo Wild Wings. You know, you had like 2 bombs that were caught, some lucky plays. You were literally like 3 and 4.
Dak will not get it done against the Saints.
I just don't see how they're in the playoffs, man. I don't like this football team. They were at home versus Green Bay in week 7 or 8. It was win or go home for their season. They barely won by like 4 or 7 points. And then ever since that Green Bay win this year, they've been hot, but they could have very easily not even been in here. I don't see them winning versus Leighton Van Der Esch and the crew for Dallas. I like America's favorite team at home, okay? Minnesota at Chicago, man. Guess what, Minnesota? You got it done in week 17, but now Chicago's at home. They're going to game plan versus you. And let me tell you something, man. Adrian Amos, Kyle Fuller, and I think Khalil Mack, they're going to have a nice, Akeem Hicks, they're going to have a nice date.
There's no way in hell that Minnesota is going to beat Chicago in week 17.
The best chance you have, Minnesota, to win this game, the best chance you have is get a Dalvin Cook running game versus Khalil Mack.
But that means you're saying that those teams are that close to the point that the games are decided by home field advantage. And I do not think that those two teams are that close.
Well, I like Chicago anyway.
But how do you think they're going to lose the previous week?
Because Minnesota's at home. I like the home team. I like school.
That means you're saying they're close. They're not close.
I think
Chicago's way better than Minnesota.
I think it'll be a game. I think Thielen Diggs may rise up. Literally, Andrew Luck was down by, I think, 20 points or 18 points at a halftime. Which the Giants gave him a halftime speech. Got him going, and even down 18, the Colts.
Kirk always gets a lot of yards, but it takes him a lot of interceptions to get there.
Well, Kirk's a bust. Thank God Cleveland again. Hashtag Baker Mayfield. Right here, Dallas at New Orleans, not even a question. I'm going to skip right there, okay? I love it, man. I love it. Dallas, you win week 14 or 14. You won, congrats, okay? But literally on the road, not happening in hell, okay? Superdome, as long as Van Der Esch and, DeMarcus Lawrence and, the whole crew, I think they still have Byron Jones and I don't like Dallas. I don't like them on the road versus New Orleans. It'll be a game. It'll be within 10 points. But I had New Orleans. Chicago at LA. I don't like LA as a football team. Okay?
How?
This football team, let's touch me, guys.
They're like the most fun team to watch.
They lost. Was it Robert Woods they lost? Or was it someone else they lost? They lost a wide receiver. So literally, I tell you right now, I don't like this football team. The way they played at home last year versus the Falcons was embarrassing. Because look at the Falcons now. I mean, they didn't get much better, and it's just like, geez, man. They are not a playoff team. They're young. The way they do win, though, is if they just totally shut down Trubisky. But I like Cohen.
You don't think they're gonna? You think Trubisky's gonna just go lights out? On the road, I don't.
I like Trubisky as a man or home guy. I like Trubisky, him, Cohen, Allen Robinson. Not to mention my friend,
no way.
Gabriel, Trey Burton,
no.
Mack, the crew,
no.
Team Hicks. I don't think LA offensively can do enough past the Chicago defense. Conversely, I don't think Chicago's I actually think that Chicago's offense can outweigh their defense, but not vice versa. Hence, also, Chicago won in the regular season anyway. So it's not like, I know they're home now, but still, man, okay?
But yeah, that's like how you're saying Minnesota and Chicago is all decided by the home field. Now you're saying, ooh, they're close, but, now home field doesn't matter. It's... You're kind of playing yourself a little bit.
Politics. New Orleans, Chicago, guys. Oh, Chicago. Okay?
Wrong.
Let me tell you something, guys. Chicago is a football team. They are a windy team. It's a windy team. It blew me away. Literally, this team, man, Khalil Mack, I'm telling you guys right now, this defense is so good. I'm sorry, Bruce.
But it's Drew Brees.
You saw Brees.
He is a top
You saw
10.
Brees week 2 at Myles Garrett. When there's pressure, he almost lost with the Browns. When there's pressure, I don't like.
But man, what's Trubisky gonna do when
I think Trubisky can.
With Cam Jordan,
He has Howard. He has Cohen. He has Robinson. He has Burton. He has Gabriel.
Look at who New Orleans has. They've got the best
Michael
running back.
Thomas, Kamara, and Breeze versus a great defense. That's pretty much even. But then who do they have defensively? Cam Jordan, no linebackers, not really any safeties. Lattimore, but it's not exactly let's out the year like last year.
But you don't have a first-year head coach, and you're at home.
I like Matt Nagy. Nagy's going to nag him up, all right? Chicago KC, this man, you know what? I'm drawing, you know what? Should I draw it now? Who's winning this game? Who's winning this Super Bowl? You know what? I had the Bears.
No.
I have the Bears. Who's winning that? The Bears. I have the Bears.
No way in hell.
This Super Bowl. Let me tell you guys, Khalil Mack will MVP. John Gruden will have a long off season. Mark my word. John Gruden is going to have a long off season once they had that speech up there and Khalil Mack will MVP.
I like the matchup against KC, but man, Chicago, you gave
John
them.
Gruden, look at me, man. It's Smash Mouth football. Let me tell you some John Gruden.
Chicago will
right?
not beat the Rams and the Saints.
You got rid of Marquette King. You got rid of Cooper. You got rid of Khalil Mack. I don't know what you're talking about, Gruden. You are the reason, not McCarthy. If you want to talk about a coach that ruined a team's season, it's you, Gruden, not McCarthy. McCarthy did everything he can. He lost so many games because of that guy named Mason Crosby versus the Lions.
But you think the Bears are going to lose Week 17 and then just sweep all the way?
Did everything he could. That's all he had was Vontae Adams. Jimmy Graham is having a good season, okay? Rodgers, I mean, him and Jones, everything they can. Who's in their defense, okay? You have Clay Matthews.
Rodgers is
Trayvon Williams is their cornerback. Nick Perry, this guy named Mike Pettin who we had in Cleveland. I think the Packers should have kept their coach.
Nope.
And the fired coach should have been John Gruden. And even though he's guaranteed $100 million, guess what? Maybe I would never fired him because of the guaranteed money. But take away that guaranteed money, Gruden's fired. But he's not fired because of the money only. End of the video. Bye, guys. Happy New Year.